Back with the F1 Manager career mode, we're in Silverstone. Ferrari lead both championships. Oh wait, they don't, because they've completely bottled it in this, just like they have in real life. We lead one championship. Perez nowhere to be seen, but Max Verstappen is Mr. Consistency. But talking of consistency, Xavier or Marcus Padro's engineer contract running out. I tried to get him re-signed there. He's Leclerc's engineer, and he's just no having it. So we're going to wait. He's got 6 months remaining. I don't really see why we should dive into it, but you know, we're leading the constructors by 47 points. Max leads the drivers by 3 points, and Sainz, of course, in second. The board are confidence. Well done and great work. I would expect a very positive result in your board review in 1 month, so that is in 1 month's time. Here's the financial report. So we've got to go to performance targets, upgrades for the car this weekend. Not really, but it looks like it's going to be another wet race there. Friday, Saturday in the mid-20s, high 20s, and then Sunday 16 degrees where it looks like heavy rain. We like heavy rain races. Canada last time out, heavy rain, but Max still finished third, and considering we've won a lot of races, it is a bit bitterly disappointing in my opinion that we're sitting here still behind in the Drivers' Championship, but it is what it is. Red Bull picked up form, well, Max has picked up form. It looks like it's a three-way fight for the championship, but sooner or later we're probably going to have to pick what driver we want to win the Drivers' Championship. So practice 1 results, it is Ferrari on top, Fate, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. Pierre Gasly keeping up his fine form, of course, got P4 last time out, so he's doing really well. Fernando Alonso's got a grid penalty this week, not really too sure why. I mean, he crashed out last time in Canada, so maybe that's to do with something, but Jesus Christ, man, set up confidence for both drivers absolutely out the window. Practice 2 results, Sainz on top for Verstappen and Leclerc, and that's Perez and Gasly again continuing fine form. Bottas in between the Mercedes, Alonso 9th. I mean, pretty much the exact same order that it was in practice 1, apart from Leclerc and Verstappen have switched around, but we're going to, I mean, look at that, set off confidence is there from Leclerc, not really there for Sainz, so we're going to have to dive in and fix that as we head on to Saturday, and it's qualifying day, no rain scheduled or nothing, but, you know, interesting to see. I mean, it's kind of hard to set up for rain, because I don't really know. It is now time for qualifying, both drivers in the 80s in terms of set-up confidence, so that is what you like to see here around the streets, well, the countryside of Northampton as we're in Silverstone, and yeah, I mean, no home Grand Prix here for any of our drivers remotely close. We've actually been a fucking disaster. Spain, Leclerc bottled it in Monaco. I mean, he's actually did a lot of bottling and a lot of home Grand Prix, but let's get stuck in. So how good does the Ferrari look around maggots and baggots here? I mean, it's been the quickest car so far this weekend by the looks of it, and we're running in perfect symmetry here, so hopefully as we start sector 3 we'll get, well, I say we're seeing purple, we're like the first cars out on track, but I mean, we're hoping for probably high 28s. If you're doing low 30s in practice, high 28, I mean, yeah, I mean, if Albon's doing a low 30, then we should be looking for a second and a half at least down the road for the Williams. I mean, it is the slowest car in the game, and if Guan Yu Zhou's doing a 29.1, we should probably be hoping for a fucking 27.9 or something, but across the line, and it's a 27.8 from Leclerc, and it's a 27.7 from Carlos Sainz. So you know what, Stevie was on the money there with that. I did say we'd have to be in the late 27s, and it proved to be true. 2 minutes to go. It's Sainz from Perez, from Leclerc, from Verstappen, from Lewis Hamilton. I mean, there's just no need to go again here, so it's going to be interesting to see what all these guys do, but it looks like both McLarens could be heading out. Fell 5.6 off, that's a fucking disaster there. That's the end of the session, so let's see. I mean, Latifi spun, he won't be getting out. I mean, I doubt he'd have been getting out anyway, but Verstappen and Perez take a big jump ahead of the Ferraris, which is a worry, a serious worry here as Q1 ends. Alonso P7, Gasly P5. They definitely look like the only two that can really take the fight to the Mercedes this weekend. I mean, not that Tsunoda and Bottas are far off at all, but you know what I mean. Both Ferraris leaving the pit lane. DRS enabled Alonso out with his grid penalty. Tsunoda out. I mean, can we bounce back? It was a pretty pish end of the session there at Q1. Let's see what Leclerc and Sainz are capable of. What they're capable of. Cross, I mean, it's a 26. Pretty much identical laps to what we did, but we are on worn, soft tyres. So, I mean, there is that. There is that. Let's see what Verstappen and Perez can do here. Looks like they're both in a bit of traffic there. Verstappen, look at that. Way off. Way off. And Perez, what the fuck's Perez doing? Is Perez not even hit the... This says Perez not even did the 107 limit, but... That would be bullshit. We're going to put Leclerc out on a fresh set of softs, and we're going to do the same for Carlos Sainz. So we're going to send him out, and we're going to send him out. And let's see what the boys can do. The boys in red, what can they do? It's me and you. What can we do? One Leclerc. Let's get into the mid. Doesn't, I mean, a mid 20. Fucking, it just looks like Verstappen has kind of got our number at the minute. Well, especially in Silverstone. Maybe in wet conditions, Ferrari, we can bounce back. Q3 has begun. 18 seconds in. We're loving life here. Out in this, what is it, the streets? It's the fucking countryside of Northampton. But Ferrari are out. And let's see what we can do. Can we put down a gauntlet? I'm doubting it, to be honest. I think we'll be lucky to get second and third because Perez looks pretty toasty. But Sainz has been held up big time there. Leclerc as well. And as you can see, fucking nowhere near the lap time required. With, I mean, it just doesn't look good. I mean, Leclerc sitting down in P10 for fuck's sake. We'll send him out. And I won't be able to. I was going to try and get 3 laps in, but we're just not going to be able to get 3 laps in. Get to about 220. And then start sending the drivers out. That's what you do. 220. 220. The cars are piling it. And there we go. Clear at 1.9 off. Needs to find 1.9 seconds. I mean, worst case scenario, it should be P4. Right? As long as he even gets a half decent lap together. But at this rate, with Ferrari's luck, wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting fucking P10 by the end of this. But we're getting round. We've got Verstappen and a Ferrari sandwich, so hopefully we can hold them up to a degree as we start our flying fucking laps here in Q3, the final one. Gasly will be very happy with P4. I mean, AlphaTauri must have brought an upgrade because he did pretty well in Canada, regardless of getting a bit lucky with the strategy. So they must have brought an upgrade in recent weeks in order to. I mean, because Tsunoda's even in the top 10. I remember the start of this season, like it was literally both Alpines, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and like Valtteri Bottas, and I mean even Guan Yu Zhou was getting in there. So no AlphaTauri's anywhere to be seen, but we're flying round the lap. Leclerc, he's only green in that first sector. Not ideal. Not ideal. Bottas gets up to P8. Gasly can't improve. Perez does improve, but stays P2. We're going down the back straight. I mean, I don't think Verstappen's on a particularly great lap. No, he isn't, like, but are we? Because Leclerc is, I mean, no purples, and you need to get purples. Nah. And as you can see, it's a Ferrari locking out the second row, and it's a bit of a disaster in it. Like, it's no what the doctor ordered. But with a wet race, that'll hopefully bring us back into play on Sunday. I mean, because for the first time, like, Perez looks like he's fucking turned up. So we're both going to be starting on the medium compounds. It's looking like a 2-stop race, but when you factor in rain, it could be anything as a 5-stop race. But with Perez and Verstappen on the front row, I think we need to go for it. I'm hoping rain brings us closer, to be honest. I mean, it says beautiful blue skies overhead, so I'm not 100% sure if the rain is here or on its way or wet, but we're going to have to look. But here is the red lights. They're going out. We're at 3, we're at 4. We're at 5, and the Red Bulls a decent enough start as we are going to turn everything to attack. But we kind of slipped in behind. Like, I mean, it's not exactly the greatest start of all time, is it? As I mean, it's pretty much pedestrian. Like, and you've got a feeling that Perez is just going to sit here like a fucking shite bag and defend his teammates' lead. As we've got cars weaving to try and get some heat into the tyres, but down the straight we're deploying here with Carlos Sainz, with Charles Leclerc. Surely we can get past Perez. No, we don't, and I can't help but feel that's a bit of a mess, to be honest. As Leclerc passes his teammate, put him down. Put him down. Oh, Leclerc trying to hang it around the outside here. No quite happening. No, quite happening. We should slow down. We should slow down, says the engineer. Probably pissing off at the end of the season, but let's look at the rain. So the rain's not coming until after the first pit stop. See, that's a bastard. Do you drag out the first pit stop then? I mean, you probably do. You probably conserve the tyres. That's probably the best way to go for this race. But it is what it is. DRS enabled here, going on to lap 3, and Perez 4 tenths behind Verstappen, Leclerc 3 tenths behind Perez, and then Sainz 3 tenths behind Leclerc. So not much of a gap separated the top 4 here, and I feel like if we just go long on that first stint, that can completely undo Red Bull. But again, this game's actually a management game. It's not the F1 game where you can outsmart dimwitted fucking bastards. I mean, I think they'll actually be smart about it in this. And it is what it is. As Perez goes for it on Max Verstappen, and Sergio Perez has the lead of the Silverstone Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix. As we might, should we turn up the engines? Fuck it, we are. For maggots and baggots down the whole straight, we're going to do that. Ferrari's in full deploy mode down the hangar straight, and as you can see, I think we're going to get the job done. Verstappen a tenth behind, Leclerc a tenth behind, Sainz a tenth. I mean, 4 tenths cover the top 3, and yet we still can't seem to get the move done as Verstappen thinks about it on Perez. But we also think, I mean, how's Hamilton 3.1 behind? It's just the DRS trains in this game. They literally just fucking drag you along. But I mean, we could be running out of deployment soon, but hopefully we can get, I mean, Leclerc and Sainz, both fastest cars on track. Gasly over Hamilton tonight. Come on, surely. Think about a manoeuvre, guys. Come on, we need to split the Red Bulls at some cost. Because if they just sit like shite bags, we're going to have to sit like shite bags. Hamilton 3.2 behind, quickly becoming a 4-horse race for the win, which, I mean, it kind of is. Kind of is every weekend, to be honest. But Perez, the only guy not to win a race at the top 4 teams, but I mean, I think I'm going to turn the... Oh, fuck, I was going to turn the engine down, but Leclerc... Oh, but Verstappen's get past Perez. Fuck off, man. Right, Leclerc, hang out around the outside, son. Nope, no such thing. Well, they actually are battling here. Both Red Bulls are battling. And Perez just settles there for P2 like a good little number 2 driver. But come on, Leclerc, man. Perez got such a shit exit. There's no fucking excuse not to get past him. Well, apparently there is, and it's called shite. And yeah, can't quite do it. Or maybe... Now, onto the back... Right, surely we've got Perez. Perez basically cannot defend that. But he's getting all the DRS for Verstappen, and that's the frustrating thing. Yeah, let's just turn this down. May as well put Sainz on harvest, like, because I mean, he'd be able to catch right back up to this group of cars. But as you can see, Leclerc, as soon as I put Leclerc down to neutral, man, he almost fucking gets him. I mean, may as well just put fucking Leclerc back to neutral, because we can't get past Verstappen. We can't get past Perez in order to get past Verstappen. So DRS train here is what it is. Looks like Red Bull have just got superior straight line speed this weekend. Gasly sitting 5.5 behind. He's managed to get past Hamilton. Then there's just a Nicholas Latifi sitting at the back of the grid because he's shite. That's pretty much how that's going for him. But we're 7 laps in. The rain, I think, is going to come around... Fuck, I don't know what lap that's going to come by as we move on here. And both Ferraris are side by side going around the final couple of corners as we've both got them in harvest mode. Leclerc doing the P4. Right, you know what? I'm going to put Carlos Sainz in full deployment mode when we get round here, and hopefully a full lap of deployment he'll be able to get past. I'm hoping that is the dream. We've set it right. We've set it the ERS to deploy Admani, man. Now it's up to Carlos Sainz to get the job done. This Leclerc is just losing time down the straight. But look at that, Sainz not even gate. Sainz didn't have the fucking DRS on. What's he doing? Honestly, as Verstappen's now lost out to Perez, but I mean, it is what it is. But come on, make these laps fucking count, guys. 8 laps in. Not good. Not good at all. It's Carlos Sainz. He's thinking about hanging it around the outside, but he can't quite get the job done. As Verstappen, I mean, 3 times covers the top 3. As Leclerc's dropped a wee bit behind, but he's saving up his ERS, so I'm not really bothered about that, to be honest. But as you can see, there's 3 cars. I mean, we're literally going 3 wide here. Down the straight is Carlos Sainz, takes the lead of the British Grand Prix. Brilliant, and let's just keep that in deploy so we can pull it. You know what, we're going to go on aggressive, fuck it, on the tyres. Yep, Red Bulls, you battle each other. Carlos Sainz, you try and get that cement that is Charles Leclerc sitting there trying to manage his tyres. And come on Carlos, you can do it, son. And now put Leclerc back to neutral. I guess there's no real reason to be sitting in shite bag mode at this rate. As you see, you just can't get out of the DRS train, and it's a problem because essentially you're going to have to pull near a second in 1 lap in order to get out of it, and you just can't. And that's why as soon as you get past the Red Bulls, they're just catching you back at the next DRS zone. Bit of a disaster. But Sector 1 is seeing a yellow flag, and I'm looking. I don't really see anyone who's off. Lance Stroll's had a spin. We'll check that out. At turn 3, both stuck behind Alexander Albon, and he simply just lost it in front of Sebastian Vettel. Bottle job. As Sergio Perez manages to get past Max Verstappen. I mean Carlos Sainz. I mean, they're just switching positions too much here. The front couple of guys. Carlos Sainz manages to get back in front of Perez. I mean, fuck, he made that look a bit difficult, but now with a buffer of just over a second, hopefully that'll do it. Hopefully that can be us to the promised land. 1.2 seconds. Leclerc still stuck behind. We're going to put him on that.
We can push a bit more.
Yeah, push a bit more, Carlos. Get out this fucking DRS disaster. Oh, 1.5, yes, he keeps 1.8, yes, brilliant. Oh, but Verstappen's now overtook. But Verstappen's losing a bit of time here. We've just entered the pit window. Well, guess what? We're not fucking pitting, Carlos. Ain't that right, son? Alright. I mean, that was some serious amount of fucking corner cutting there from Sergio Perez. What was all of it? It's Leclerc. Leclerc's just stuck. If I knew there wasn't rain, I'd pit him, do the undercut, but when I say stuck, like, I mean, he is only a little bit off the lead at this point. It's nothing to exactly greet about. Fastest lap from Sainz, and now Verstappen has pitted. Perez has somehow lost it to Leclerc, and all of that, and now it's a Ferrari 1-2 with Max pitting with rain on its way, which means I'm going to put Carlos Sainz down to standard, and hopefully Max Verstappen gets absolutely stuck in the midfield, and that probably would be the best case scenario. A lot of people on medium tyres though, and there's the gap to the leader, so let's see where Max Verstappen comes out just to judge how long a pit stop is. Verstappen's coming about 25 seconds off the lead, so, and now there is rain coming. That is what we like to hear, and the fact with a 3-second gap to Leclerc between him and Sainz means we could probably double stack and completely get away with it. But Perez, I mean, Red Bull have to keep Perez out now. The rain is coming. Rain starting now, but the track isn't exactly wet enough as we go past the pit lane. I mean, you'd be burning up the tyres on the opening lap, so I think it's best to wait. But see the way this is going and how wet it's suddenly got as soon as we pass that pit lane entrance. How much do you bet it gets wet enough for the likes of Verstappen and Bottas to pit, but no us, and that's going to bring the likes of all them back into Gasly, Hamilton pit, and Verstappen, Bottas pit, and now we've got Ferrari and Perez stuck out. I should have fucking pit it, but I mean, it is what it is. And now we're going to be running so fucking slow. Fuck this. Ferrari have balled it yet again. Got it so right in Canada, whatever, and now we've got it so fucking wrong, to be honest.
Box this lap, box, speed confirm.
Box these lap, box these lap, box these lap, right. So Carlos Sainz in the pit lane. I mean, to be honest, we didn't actually lose too much time. If you look at it, I mean, it looks like that is really... Wait, what? What is going on? Sergio Perez is fucking stayed out on the slick tyres. And there's loads more people pit. Oh, don't tell me. But no, the track's still really wet. I don't know what's Perez done. Can someone explain to me? Wait, is everyone definitely on? Aye, half the grid's on inters, half of them on dries. Kind of confused, to be honest, with what is going on here from half the grid. But it is what it is. But it looks like Ferrari are in a good position here, unless it dries up pretty quickly. Sainz right behind Perez now, but we've got a pretty big gap to Max Verstappen. This is what you like to see. And there is Sergio Perez in front of Carlos Sainz. And we're going to have to go into overtake. I mean, what the fuck are you doing, Carlos Sainz, mate? Just get past the guy. We're in overtake mode. Yeah, we got him. Boom, sort it. We made that a bit more difficult than we had to be perfectly honest, but it is what it is. But I mean, that's really shafted drivers like Gasly and co. But I mean Perez, how far is Perez gonna drop behind here? Because I'm gonna have to put Leclerc up there, and now Perez manages to pit. Gonna put him down back to neutral, and as we look at the weather, it looks like it's just gonna continue getting wet and then going off for periods. So I mean, it looks like it could just be. But Inters don't look like they're going to last to the end. That's the only thing. Hamilton's had a lock up, and he's bottled the final podium position there to Max Verstappen. Brilliant, Sir Lewis, because the one time it looks like Verstappen could be losing points. I mean, he even goes to rejoin and goes, "We don't want to give you that," and just fucking throws it away, throws the podium away in his home Grand Prix. What are you doing? Here. Gearbox showing a bit of wear for Leclerc. I mean, this is just... I mean, surely at this rate we can just get to the end. I mean, Alexander Albon is sitting up in the points paying positions and a fucking Williams. What's going on? Well, saying that, he's been overtook. As we now sit on lap 40, the Ferraris, I mean, Sainz leads 17 seconds for Verstappen, 7 seconds from Leclerc. The rain fall is just kind of dropping a bit, but if we look at the actual weather, it looks like it's just going to pick up and then get completely dry with a couple of laps to go. Oh, wait, I mean, it looks like it's going to get completely dry with 3 laps to go. But will the Inters even last that long? That's the only fucking problem. I mean, you're going to need just to stay out. Persevere with the Inters to get us to the end, but we'll sim up a wee bit. But the gaps look like they're staying as the same. But we're about early 50s there in terms of tyre wear. We're about 11 laps to go. So hopefully we can see this victory out. But the rainfall's pretty heavy. I mean, 2.64 is quite a lot. But it's going to be interesting to see what the AI do, because, you know, they'll bottle it first before me. As the rainfall is dropping, and I've got a feeling it's just going to drop until the end of the race here. And once it gets below 1, that means it's time for slick tyres. And as you can see, it's hovering. Well, I say it's hovering, it just keeps on going down at this rate. And I think we're going to need to pit, but not yet. And whoever nails it will probably win this race. And hopefully that's not Max Verstappen. I mean, it's a 3-horse race. Hamilton 48 seconds behind Perez, behind Hamilton, and a low lap warning, as I believe the track is drying up. But what do we do? Track is now dry, but no one else is pitted. I can still see a bit of rain, you know, it's not dry. And no, the Williams didn't pit. 5 more laps to go on warm. See if Max Verstappen pits here. He doesn't. Max Verstappen stays out, and that's all that matters, because our battle today is with Max Verstappen. It's as simple as that. With 5 laps to go, no one else is pitting. And that's all we need to know, because the track is still damp. You know, it says it's 0.80 millimeters of water on the track. Not an insane amount, but probably enough to make you slide. And now the track's getting damp again. So if we did pit for slicks there, you'd look like a right dick. And now it's just getting heavier, which looks like Ferrari are going to get a 1-2. Unless there's a complete and utter fucking disaster here. I mean, George Russell sitting in P12. Talk about a disaster. What's going on there? That is a disaster from his point of view. Charles Leclerc saying that the front tyres are gone. But everyone's dealing with the same issues here with 3 laps to go. And with the track getting dry again. What's going on? What is going on? But I doubt the track's going to get... I mean, whoa, hold up, wait a minute. What are those drivers pitting for? I mean, not everyone's pitting, or some people are. No, people are putting on fresh intermediates here. I mean, Max Verstappen on a 24% tyre. Is he going to be able to get to the end? I mean, are we going to be able? I mean, we're on 25 with Sainz, who's leading the race. 2 lap and a half to go. Will some people pit to save their fears of the tyre going bust? That is the question. Perez back up into P4 as Carlos Sainz goes round the final corner and starts the final lap. So come on, Carlos. Tyres are getting a little warm, says Charles Leclerc, but we should be alright. I mean, the people that's pitted, like, I mean, they've literally just thrown away decent results. Decent enough results, but it looks like Ferrari have got this in the bag. The track remaining damp enough. Lance Stroll even pits. I mean, why are people even pitting at this stage? As Carlos Sainz rounds the final couple of corners, Guan Yu Zhou getting absolutely pressurised there by George Russell, but they've still got a lap to go, so Russell may get a point, but Carlos Sainz wins the British Grand Prix. And I think that's back-to-back victories there for Carlos Sainz, which takes him in to the championship lead. Charles Leclerc wins. No, wins. He finished second, man. It'll feel like a win for fucking Leclerc because he's needed decent back-to-back results after the bottle jobs he's done recently. Then we've got Verstappen, then Perez, then Lewis Hamilton, Gasly again with another strong showing, Bottas, then Fernando Alonso, then it was Danny Ricciardo, and I believe these two are still going, Guan Yu Zhou and George Russell, battling to the end. And Guan Yu Zhou looks like he's going to hold on, so Mercedes don't get a double points finish. What you like to see here at Silverstone. Achievement, what is it? Paddock regular. Completed 10 Grand Prix in one career. Carlos Sainz doesn't care about the achievement. His achievement is another win. And 8.2 seconds clear of his teammate. Looked like a Red Bull Ferrari battle always. And then didn't happen with me. What were Red Bull thinking with Perez? If they actually pit it with us, probably would have been a three-way fight. But they didn't. They kept him out. Disaster. Had to fight his way back through. Drivers' Championship is as follows. Sainz leads Verstappen by 8 points, and now he leads Leclerc by 15 points. So another pretty big gap there. But in the Constructors, Ferrari lead by 64 points. So an insane gap there. Ferrari are looking good. Carlos Sainz. Not many people fancied him to be challenged for the world title. Looked like it was always going to be Leclerc. Well, that's it, guys, for this episode here at this British Grand Prix. And until Austria, peace.